Arwa, thank you very much. If there's anybody I know can handle that situation, it's you. So it is good to have you there. I got into this thing with Elon Levy where he was saying there are more food trucks being in Gaza every day now than there was before the war. And I said, maybe so, but there is less overall aid going in than before October 7th, and there's more need than ever. So we were like playing with statistics. What is the reality that you're seeing?
Well, Chris, you were talking there about how, Israel might be controlling the aid to the north. And look, Israel controls everything that comes in and out of Gaza, including electricity. And there hasn't been electricity in Gaza, which is why I'm kind of sitting in the dark using my cell phone light so that I can conserve what very little battery there is on the backup to be able to come on your show, because the generator died a few hours ago. And yeah, there's no electricity, there's no running water, there's no nothing. And there isn't enough aid coming into Gaza because people are hungry and people are starving and the aid is not getting to them. Look, we were at a camp, one of these like makeshift sort of massive camps that has sprung up kind of on the beach. There's nothing there. It's sand and there's sewage, and you walk into these tents and each step you take sends flies up into the air. Mothers are holding these like limp babies, shoving them at you, hoping that you're going to be able to help them out. Everyone is begging for everything from diapers to soap to various hygiene kits. And we were there trying to assess where we can set up our medical points. Just to provide sort of basic services, because that's greatly needed because the hospitals are either shut down or completely overwhelmed. And as we're walking away, a woman runs up and we start chatting and she says, listen, I don't know what to do because my son has been screaming his head off and going into these convulsions almost every single night after a bomb hit our house and he saw his sister decapitated in front of him. I have never seen anything like this, Chris. This level of sheer mass of misery and humanity that is just crammed into this one area. And we're talking about Rafah now. We're not even talking about what the population is going through up in the north.
Right. And that's, the north is supposedly an entirely different universe of pain than the south, which is almost unfathomable. So do you believe, I saw in your notes that hope is a dangerous thing on the ground in Gaza right now, because, how much more can you take, let alone the heartbreak? Is there any chance seen among the population for things getting better, or do you think there's going to be an all-out desperate effort there?
It depends on who you're talking to and what you're talking about. Everyone, knowing that I came in from the outside, is asking me, when do I think it's going to end? Is there going to be a ceasefire? Is more aid going to get in? And I can't answer their questions. And some people you ask, do you have hope? How are you even coping with all of this? And they don't even know how to answer that. And, when it comes to our Inara team, for example, they keep going because there is this overall belief in Gaza and among Gazans that, we have to figure out different ways to help ourselves, and we have to keep fighting for ourselves because no one else is going to fight for that. And this news that Erez might be opening that checkpoint in the north, humanitarian aid in the north, people are very aware of that. And some were saying that, it did give them hope. But then they'll say, here hope is a dangerous thing because it can crash and it cannot materialize. And when that happens, it just shoots you into an even deeper level of despair. No one knows what's going to happen. Everyone is terrified about this impending invasion of Rafah and where are we going to go? Are we going to get pushed to the sea? Are we going to get pushed up against the border with Egypt? Are we going to get shipped off somewhere else? People here, Chris, have so little, if any, agency over their lives. It's actually quite shocking to realize that. They have no ability to make any real choice. They can't choose if they're going to live or die. They can't choose if they're going to stay or go. They can't choose what to eat, where to eat, how to eat it, how to keep their children safe. It's completely insane.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.